Hey everybody, it's DJ, and welcome back to Over Here We Craft for Money. In today's video, I want to answer a really important question that a subscriber put in the comments on my Sunday motivational post. So, the Sunday motivational post is a series that I started to just try to remind us to keep moving forward and to invest in ourselves as we go on this craft into supplemental income journey. And so, Rosemary asked the question, how do you get started getting yourself out there when you don't have a social media presence, or maybe you're not even on social media? How do you get folks to know that you have crafts that are viable and worth purchasing? And she really got me thinking about that, because the truth of the matter is all of us are not on social media. As a small business owner, I didn't build my brand being on social media. I had a personal Facebook page and I had a personal Instagram page, but I certainly was not on TikTok and on X, or formerly Twitter, or whatever it's called these days. I didn't have any of that. I don't have Pinterest. I did start an Etsy page specifically for my small business, because even though I opted to use Shopify as my platform for selling, Shopify does not find you customers. That's up to you to do. And so I thought the organic way that Etsy eventually feeds you into the algorithm, once you figured out your niche, or they figured out what your niche is, it would bring me customers. But all of that was really happenstance, guys. I like just kind of stumbled my way into the learnings that I had. And so if there's an opportunity for me to make that journey of finding the way to grow yourself and put yourself out there easier for you than it was for me to get started, then I'm operating in my purpose. And so I want to thank Rosemary for being courageous enough to ask that question. And so what I have put together is a list of places and events where small craft and businesses can sell their products and grow their business. So I do have my notes right here down. So if you see me look down, I just am making sure that I'm not missing on anything that I wanted to share with you. Some of the things I'm going to share with you are ways that I eventually started to leverage to grow myself, and then others I did through research and just kind of calling and checking in with some of my boss friends who own small businesses, and just kind of picking their brains to make sure that I'm bringing to you suggestions and ideas that real people are using. So, with that being said, let's jump right into this. So, the first cluster of places that I want to share with you, I put under local and community based type of events, right? So, at the end of the day, one of the best marketing strategies you have is you. And so that's what this one really is going to be relying on. So, number one is farmers markets. Not sure if where you live has them. Where I live in Florida, they do. When I lived in the DC area, you could always find a good farmers market to go to. And so, think about farmers markets. And so, what are those? Those are going to be the local, regular markets that are great for connecting with community members. So, maybe the city that you live in or the suburb that you live in has its own local farmers market that they operate. The city you may live in, you may have to go and look up city events online where you live or locally around you to see if there are any kind of farmers markets going on. The great thing about going to a farmers market is the population of people who typically patronize something like that are looking for quality handmade goods. They're looking for home baked goods. They're looking for things that people make that you can't just walk into the local TJ Maxx and pick that up. Now, most of the time, there's going to be a small nominal fee to participate in the farmers markets. And I know one of the really popular ones here in Florida does ask the vendors to commit to the full farmers market season, right? Now, for me, I've never personally participated in a farmers market because, like I said, the main one that I would have been interested to participate in wanted you to commit from October to March, and that was a real commitment. Talk about the runaway bride. I could not commit to that many weekends that consistently with the holidays and everything, but it is very well attended. And what I did do, besides going and picking me up some homemade apple pie jam, that's a whole nother video. It was so good. I told y'all I was a foodie in my intro. But I was able to take my business card and I made sure that I had on one of my custom t-shirts, and I walked around and I handed out my business card in case anybody there was looking to do that. They had business cards. I made sure I made them aware that that might be something I could customize for them. And now that you guys know we had done this video with those oh my goodness, it's escaping me. When we did the videos with the metal business cards, even though I'm going to be working out with our winner Nikki very soon, I'm going to be making some for myself, and I'm going to be showing them, hey, you want to take your paper business card to the next level? Maybe that's something that I could do for them under the Over Here We Craft for Money banner, right? So just be kind of prepared that on average you're probably looking at anywhere from 25 to, I don't know, maybe $40 to attend, right? You're going to pay a vendor fee. And then you get there, and they usually do not provide like the tables, the chairs, and the tent. You are going to have to come prepared for all of that. But then you're there for selling hours, and the time is yours, and you are your best marketer to get out there and sell your products. So, farmers markets are definitely something worth considering. The next thing that I thought about on the list, and this is something I have participated in my small business, and that is local and regional craft fairs that also are attracting customers specifically looking for that. A handmade experience, right? Think about the type of things that you make that you might want to put on an Etsy page. That's the perfect market for here. When it is a craft fair and they brand it as a craft fair, you might want to do a little recognizance if you can, because you want to make sure that if you are finding yourself there and you have duplicate items that other craft vendors have, how are you going to set your stuff apart? Now, in our other video, our 20 must have sublimation blanks from Timu, we talked about how to bundle a lot of those items so that you can take advantage of that. I think I even shared in one of the videos, please forgive me because I forget which one, but I shared about how I had the cookie mitts at a craft fair that everybody had. But what I realized from doing some research before I set myself up to do the holiday one was that nobody was doing anything to celebrate the holidays of Hanukkah. And we have a huge Jewish population here in Florida, and I wanted to take advantage of that. So I made sure that my cookie mitt idea would appeal to that particular base of customer. And I was very fortunate because not only did they buy all of those, but they bought other ones that were similar to some of the other vendors that were at the event. And I actually sold out of mine. So craft fairs, definitely want to take a look at those, and don't just limit yourself locally. There's some that happen over in Tampa, there's some in my case that happen over in Orlando, and for the right one I might just decide I want to go and pop up at that one. Here they do a really big one like over the course of a weekend after Black Friday, but definitely before Christmas, and it's at the Florida Fairgrounds. And so again, I know that I'm going to be in the room if I go there, and I'm with plenty of crafters, but it's okay because I'm going to do my research to figure out how I differentiate myself. So, to Rosemarie's question, that's another way to put yourself out there, right? And so you want to make sure you have your collateral, marketing materials. How can they get in contact with you? Are you willing to take orders there and give them a certain discount now on the future if they book time with you now or something along those lines, right? So that's something. Speaking of holidays and me talking about the Florida Fairgrounds, the third place that you might want to think about under that local and community based events to put yourself out there are holiday markets. We are going into the fall. If you've ever done any research on small businesses, this is where, I mean, it's literally people's Christmas, right? This is where you see a huge uptick in sales. People are in the giving spirit. Folks are going back to school. First of all, people are going back to school right now. So that's opening up that market. That really, spills us into Labor Day, which is kind of like the last traveling event of the summer before everybody is truly back in school. That slides us into the fall with the pumpkin spice and everything nice. We then slide on into October, which is Halloween. Huge opportunity of decor and things of that nature are your jam. Then we get into Thanksgiving. We've got football. We've got Black Friday. We've got Cyber Monday. And then we got getting ready for Christmas. We've got New Year's, and then all the New Year's resolutions in January. So holiday markets are a great opportunity. They're seasonal, right? But what a great opportunity. And if you get lucky, If you get lucky and find a really strong holiday market group to participate in, you might find yourself being able to take advantage of that same audience in the spring for Easter and Mother's Day and Father's Day, right? But in this case, for the market, they're looking for specific gifts geared toward those particular holidays or seasons that we're in. So, what a great way for you to put yourself out there if that's your niche or something that you make is in that niche, right? For example, yeah, you have Christmas in July, but if wreaths and you make wreaths and that's your thing that you customize, you make the home decor for that, you definitely want to be in the place where people are then shopping and looking for their home decor for season after season after season. So, number three is holiday markets as a place where you can sell products and put yourself out there. Number four would be school fairs. Now, even if you don't have children, schools have fundraisers. Schools have events where they will let vendors come and set up. You make t-shirts and you want to be able to sell your t-shirts. Maybe you go there and you offer yourself and say, hey, I have a t-shirt business. And at the next parent event, I would love the opportunity to be able to present what it is I sell, and a portion of what I make, I'll donate to whatever particular fund, building fund, whatever, the children's classroom, the teacher school supply fund. That's one opportunity where you can showcase your handmade arts and crafts, your handmade items for a targeted audience. And if you do have a child in the school, then that's even better because you've got a personal connection to the school and they already know who you are. But I'm gonna say most, but a lot of schools do have those kind of events that go on. You again will pay a nominal fee, and I should say, with the exception of the next thing that I'm gonna talk about, on average, what I've seen is pricing is not over $50 per event to participate in, which is really pretty reasonable because if you sell t-shirts and you sell each t-shirt for $25, all you got to do is sell 2 t-shirts to break even. Everything else above that is, money for you. All right. So, along the lines of arts and the school fairs is going to be the flea markets, right? So we have a huge, big old flea market here in Florida. It's on Sunrise Boulevard, and that's a place where you might be able to rent a booth and set yourself up. That becomes your booth, and you have that for the whole season. That one is probably going to be a little more pricier depending on where they are and what they charge, but it is something that gives you visibility. It puts you out front. It's a whole lot cheaper than trying to rent a brick and mortar store that comes with all kinds of electricity and ordinances and licenses and all of that. A flea market does not put all of that stress and strain on you, but still gives you an opportunity to present what it is that you sell in a place that usually has security that's walking around. There's other businesses there. So is that'll be a little competitive? It will be, but guess what? They're already doing the marketing to tell people the hours. They usually have a sign out front letting folks know when they're open. And I don't know about you, but I love a good flea market. Let me come up in here and see what kind of bargains I might be able to find myself getting, right? But I'm also, have patronized the flea market when I've been looking for embroidery. I don't do embroidery, but I got an order a couple of months ago where they wanted polo shirts for my sorority and they wanted the polos customized with embroidery. Well, I didn't want to lose that opportunity. I don't do it, so I outsourced it and found me a vendor at where the flea market. It was a seamstress, had her booth. She did prom dresses, wedding dresses, and guess what else she did? Embroidery. So now I have a business to business relationship with her. I made sure I priced accordingly, that I take care of her, and I still made the money that I was looking to make from my event. So definitely think about a local flea markets. We always talk about pop-up shops. You hear me mentioning that. Those are those things that just kind of pop up. That's what they are. They are a pop-up shop. So you might have to get out on Facebook Marketplace, look and see if anybody's advertising at Facebook events. I know I've seen a couple. I've not vended at any particular ones here in Florida, but I know my sorority, we just had our boule in Indianapolis, and some of the vendors decided when the regular vendor hall closed that they were going to do a pop-up shop. And the feedback from that was people loved that opportunity. They were able to come at a little bit later time after the business had been conducted, and the vendors were able to still present all of the amazing items that they make and produce, and they had a concentrated audience that was there. So don't sleep on a pop-up shop. Sometimes your radio stations will announce that they have these things going on, and here in Florida I see an uptick in that around Black History Month. So that's just something to think about if you hadn't thought about that already. Another one would be community centers and like your boys and girls clubs, your YMCA's. They sometimes offer events where you can set up a table and you can sell your products, right? And they have the audience for you. They have the parents of the kids that are coming in, right? Sometimes they have basketball season, like pickup games and stuff like that. So there's that opportunity, right? There's that audience right there. Probably going to have a nominal fee, but these are right here in your community and they're local. All you got to do is be able to have a car to get there. Again, I would tell you that most of these you're probably going to have to provide your own table and your two chairs, but you can pick that table up at Walmart, like a what is it, a 8x8 table and two folding chairs, and you're good to go. And then the last one under local and community-based events that I want to make sure I mention is church bazaars. I can honestly tell you in the past year, my sorority and through my local chapter, we have participated in three, I believe, and then I did one on my own. So church bazaars is where they're going to provide the space. You provide the table and the chairs. Sometimes they'll call it a garage sale, right? So people can bring and get rid of things. But there were many vendors that set up and had handmade items, magnets. I seen one lady, she had a whole bunch of inspirational magnets. That was what her whole table was about. And I was so upset because I seen one on her table when we were walking past, and then we went and set up, and by the time we started getting busy, the day got away from me, and by the time I came back, her magnet was gone. The magnet I wanted was gone. I wanted to support her, but I didn't get it when I was supposed to get it, so I was a little disappointed about that. But my point was, her stuff wasn't garage sale items. Her stuff was stuff she made, handmade, and sold out, like sold out. So definitely think about that. Maybe it's the church that you go to, or maybe it's a church that someone you know has, but I would definitely tap into that market. Those are kind of my ideas around local and community based events that you can put yourself out there at your comfort level, not spend a whole lot of money to do it, and get yourself comfortable getting in front of people and talking to them. You got to make sure that you have your marketing items so that you don't miss this opportunity. If they're in front of you, how will you capitalize on them? Maybe you're going to have a paper and pad and pencil where you can start to build your email list so that you can let them know when you release new items. Maybe you're going to make a flyer for yourself that's going to highlight your Etsy page or your Shopify page or your Wix page or your Facebook page. Maybe you're on TikTok and that's where you're doing it. You want something that they walk away with so that if they are not purchasing there, you have a way to reach them and they have a way to reach you. All right. So this was just a quick brain dump and research outcome with friends with small businesses. But when Rosemary asked that of, well, how do I get myself out there and let people know what it is that I do if I'm not on social media in that way, I wanted to come and give you some ideas that I hope will help you take your crafting business to the next level and start helping you make some of that supplemental income. If you found this video helpful, which I really hope you did, I hope that you will give me a like. I think I never asked for it, but I hope you really will like the video. I hope you'll give it a thumbs up. I am moving up in the YouTube algorithm, and you liking the video, sharing the video, and dropping me a comment definitely helps YouTube know that I'm serious about this and that what I'm producing is finding value out in the YouTube space. If you leave me a comment, I will always do my best to try and answer your comments because I love reading them, and it also gives me ideas of what I can make other videos about. And you guys give me great suggestions and ideas when I ask for help in something. So I'm enjoying this journey. It's been amazing. And again, I hope you found the video helpful, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, everybody. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And to all my money makers out there, you can do it. I believe in you. Now go be great.